Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Now has a tie for the lead with that birdie.
And a pep in the stride.
Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right. Ideally, just he's gone for a little extra.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Chance to get it close here. Frank, at a 72-hole stroke play event, do you like birdie fests where, say, 28, 30 under par might win it, or do you like a good old-fashioned grind them out where you might be able to win the championship at, say, 7, 8 under par?
Yeah, I like the latter, really, because I think it tests the mental fortitude. Normally, if people are in the mid-20s under, golf course is a little easier. It's a little more forgiving. Greens are flatter and all that, and therefore, I'm not saying it's one-dimensional, but it's closer to that. When you have a good old barn brawn out there with the rough thick and bunkers are difficult and greens are fast and undulating, every part of your game is stressed to the limit. And, sort of 10 under, I always think, is like a really good litmus test for a great tournament.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, how does the front nine finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dog leg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided. There's something about a well-hit shot. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, this really is a remarkable turn of events, considering that earlier we had pretty much written them off.
Oh, we had, and for good reason, too. Was not playing well. It looked like the round was going to continue to go in that direction. But somehow, and believe me, I don't know how, he's just completely turned this round around. Should be safely on deck.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday, and another opportunity on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge. .310 yards and straight. You can win with that. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This could be a good one. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and He's got it right on track. Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Oh, a huge birdie right there, Frank.
Just one back now.
Heading for home now, Frank. The par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about, that narrow the front of the screen up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
And with that birdie, tied at the top.
Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing into an end, 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
Good contact, good result. Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design. Birdie try up next.
Birdies are hard to come by in this situation. So tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back 9 at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. What did he do at this 16th hole?
He hit a driver for his second shot into a head breeze from about 270 yards. Managed to get it on the green, then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
You knew he was something special back then, didn't you?
Yeah, he was the only one that even tried that shot.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like.
Oh, and just busts out an eagle when things were as tight as can be.
17th here at Royal Troon. This is a very strong par 3, isn't it, Frank?
Well, if rabbits have teeth, then this is why it's called rabbit. Very, very strong par 3.
Stuck the follow-through right there. This could be really good. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
If you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of fairway in between.
Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of this green, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
Yeah, OB is just steps from the clubhouse. Well, that's how you play the game, right there, to win the International Challenge. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Just a great putt and a great win. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
No, it's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Second shot, good look at the green.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Frank, this is a good position to be in for a player. Making birdies, making some moves.
They're starting to get the momentum, too, for the finish.
A lot of great golf early on. Let's get you out to the action at the fifth. Couple of birdies already on the card. Still early, Frank, but we've seen some solid play.
This is exactly how you want to start the first round of a tournament, Rich. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up. Get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. So the eagle goes begging. Still has this for birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this Tournaments of the year. It's the EA Sports Spring Invitational and just a stunning golf course. It's Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, we're in for quite a day.
We are. We're going to see the decision-making processes of some of the fine players out there today. And the reason why I say that, Rich, is because there's so much elevation here at Wolf Creek. So you're going to have to make those adjustments on the downhill and the uphill. Club selection decisions. And of course, the one that does that the best is more than likely the one that's going to come out on top.
And getting ready for the putt. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, this one has a chance to be really good. That'll be from about 90 yards away. Eight-foot putt here. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. And with that par, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
Nice handful on the top of the leaderboard.
How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, 5th.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it? Because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream. You can always have a drink on the way if you want it, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you're going to see, you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up. This is straight at it.
It's a really good line. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot. Locked in on the read and the speed.
Ooh, inexcusable. It's no snack, though. A little bit more hope than determination in that putt.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards, 99 yards away. Frank, from the Middle East to here in Nevada, you've played desert golf around the world. What does it feel like?
It's fun. It's an oasis. Normally just the drive to a golf course. You're trying to imagine, there can't be a golf course around here. Where could it be? Where all of a sudden is one going to pop up? And then over a mountain you go and you go, there it is, a green oasis. And the other thing about desert golf, they look so perfect in amongst that because the backdrop around really makes the golf course itself pop. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Frank, it rolled out of the short grass and into the white sand, so this is his third shot.
Yeah, a lot of the professionals would rather be in the sand than the thick rough. You can control the spin much better out of fairway bunker than you can the rough.
Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Frank, a solid par right there, maintains his position. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes once again are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, driver, unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go. We all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. And who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and that's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. You can't ask for much more than that. About 5 feet away. Beautifully done. That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Frank, I really like this hole, the par 3/8 here at Wolf Creek.
It measures just under 250 yards. Really what you want to know is, though, is the yardage just to the front edge of the green. Anything, obviously, that carries sort of 5 or 6 paces on there, then at least you've got a relatively big green to hit at. But you can see the trouble that surrounds short and left of this green, as well as just over the back.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Starting to make a nice move. 5 under with that birdie for the tournament.
Rich, in that great opportunity, name on top of the leaderboard. It is only round 1.
Good place to be. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. And this is looking really good. Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Well, very impressive and on the move right now. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards, and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough, just persuade yourself. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely...
And with that par, moving into a tie for the lead.
It's about to get interesting.
Frank, the par 5 12th is another case of a hole where you see that Wolf Creek Golf Club can actually be kind of scary, daunting. I mean, you look out at the desert mountains, and then you add in some water, which we have here on the left, and you can go for some big numbers here if you're not careful.
Well, this is where the Wolf and the Creek can take a bite out of you. You hit it left off the tee, then you're certainly going to start to rack up a number. There's enough fairway down the right, but once again, if you hit a good drive and this hole is reachable for you, then you've got to worry about the water, which is to the right of this green. 5 wouldn't be the worst score you could make around here, that's for sure. I've seen 6s and 7s.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Looks like he just misread that. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet.
And another good par.
Now to the 13th hole, and, oh, I don't know, should we just fly it over the mountains, Frank?
It looks like that, but then you better find dry land. 350 yards, but as the crow flies, it's probably just a little over 300 yards. I don't know if the mere mortals would really want to flash it across that desert ridge. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though?
Wow, what impact. Absolutely crushed it. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two. Oh, and just busts out an eagle when things were as tight as can be.
Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards. What a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's where you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side. The great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. Frank, right where you want to be at the midway point of a tournament.
Yeah, you know your game's solid. The focus is more on the leader and that you can just go out and play. Excellent position to be in.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done. These putts keep the round together.
That was cruel. It looked like it was certainly going in.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That one is just a little offline, and that will not end up in the fairway. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed the bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.